Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And in this video, I wanted to give you guys a few more takeaways from yesterday's analyst day for Verizon. Again, I said it in the video yesterday. There was a lot to unpack. So I had to read some more, do some more research, look at a few more points and views from other people to give you guys a better takeaway, a better opinion of mine. So, as I mentioned in yesterday's video, and nothing changes on my end, this is a very lucrative business that Verizon is sitting on now. It's gotten very expensive for them. There are some analysts and points of views out there that there is no realistic way to make a return on investment on C-band, and they're strictly sticking by that. In a fixed wireless home internet environment, in some cities and urban environments, you're splitting profits by 4 or 5 options now. You got T-Mobile coming in, you got Comcast, you got Charter, you got Cox, and in the more concentrated urban markets, there are more cable providers that are competing. So it's not like Verizon just all of a sudden steps in and takes 60% of the share. That's going to take time, that's going to take scale, that's going to take a lot of millimeter wave. I predict as T-Mobile's 2.5 with C-band, it's not an unlimited resource, so they will also likely limit signups on home internet, just like T-Mobile is doing. So once they fill up the slots and they feel like, okay, this is enough capacity that's being used for home internet, they will likely also close the neighborhoods to be able to add more customers to give a balanced experience still after the fact. So they still want to give its wireless customers a great experience, but also be able to give home internet customers a great experience as well. Those signups likely are even more using the millimeter wave spectrum. Of course, the bandwidths are larger and you're able to carry more customers. Now, one thing that I don't like, and this is another takeaway of mine, and I think this is probably the worst negative for Verizon. After yesterday's conference, it does not seem to me that Verizon is budging on their margins. In fact, they're looking to increase the ARPU and increase the margins. I think that's going to backfire. That is just an opinion of mine. You can, of course, let me know in the comment section down below if you think otherwise. To be able to, as a customer, to be able to get into C-band, a plan that allows C-band, which is going to be labeled ultra wideband as millimeter wave, you have to get into their newer unlimited plans. On an older unlimited plan, you will only have access to DSS sub 6 gigahertz. I think that will backfire. I highly believe so. T-Mobile offers N41 to everyone. And as I gave you guys the scoop on the video that I made, AT&T is getting ready to announce the same. All flavors. And Verizon is not budging, and they're only allowing some of their higher end unlimited premium plans to have access to that C-band spectrum. Why? Because they're trying to monetize. They want you to pay for that experience, in other words. I'm going to just go ahead and say this. This is my opinion. If Verizon is going to continue to operate the business in a competitive environment that's being driven by AT&T and T-Mobile, Verizon will lose. They will lose in that environment running the business the way they are. They need a serious market correction. And T-Mobile and AT&T will give them the wake-up call. As stated by Ronan Dunn yesterday, in a after-pandemic environment, they expect volumes to increase and go back to somewhat of a normal. Their volumes will be lower even after the pandemic versus the competition because they're not competing. They are not. I don't know how they expect to still grow at a solid volume and they're not budging on their lucrative business, which is understandable. They are having to figure out ways to monetize, to make money on this investment into C-band. So there's a $53 billion investment upfront for the cost of the spectrum and the clearing cost, then you just announced that you're going to invest a separate 10 billion into the spectrum as well. Rather that be investing into it to clear it earlier or to deploy the spectrum itself, it's still a separate $10 billion investment over 3 years. It's very lucrative. It is very lucrative. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be very tough for Verizon. I mean, don't get me wrong. They're not playing around. The quality of their network is likely going to exceed anyone else's. I'm gonna go on a limb and say that, because they're heavily structured around having the the Rolls-Royce network in the wireless industry, so to speak. It sells itself. Just as people always say, well, Lamborghini, Ferrari, and Rolls-Royces, they don't advertise and market because they sell it. Those cars and those brands sell themselves. People know that's a very high quality product, and that's what Verizon is positioning themselves. So let me kind of explain a little more. So as I mentioned, 10 billion being spent separately for the spectrum. That's another increase in their capital investment. They pledged yesterday that 50% of their entire network grid will be fiber fed with its own fiber by 2023. That's half of the network on their own fiber. That means they're going away from the third party in terms of fiber. That's another hefty investment in itself. Will that pay out long term? Yes, because then they no longer have to pay the third party to increase fiber, which at 5, 10, 15, 20 gigs backhaul is going to be very expensive. So that's something that they're working on as we speak. They're laying thousands and thousands of miles of fiber each month to work towards that goal of having it covered by 50%. A good number that I did like, I gotta give some props on this one. They are roughly around 9% right now with a 5G phone penetration. So 9% of their customer base has a 5G device, whether it be sub-6, millimeter wave. Some even, I think they mentioned around 10 million devices that they have on its network are C-band capable. And some of the newer phones, the iPhone 12s, the Galaxies, the S21s, the Pixels, I think they all are able in one way or another to take advantage of C-band. They are projecting to increase that to 55% by 2023. Now that's a big number. That is a very, very big number, because it unlocks the value and the capacity of the network. It gives the customer a better experience. If you're coming from an iPhone 7, 8, an older iPhone, and you get into a newer one, it's going to be night and day this time. It's not going to be the gradual 10, 20% that we've seen from, gaining 4x4 MIMO or 256 QAM or an additional LTE carrier. This is going to be a next generation experience for those customers that are getting into C-band devices. I mean, they're going from seeing 10, 20 megabits per second peak speeds in some areas to 4, 5, 6, 7, 800, maybe even over a gig. So this will be for them a experience unlike any other. But then again, do they really care? Most average consumers probably don't. Their text message will still load the same. Their videos will still load the same. It won't be a difference. But from a network perspective for the carriers, the capacity means they can add more devices onto the network and monetize. That's all it really means for them. They don't care really about what speeds are being given at this point in time. If they have a gig of speed, that means they have a gig to monetize. That means more home internet, more devices, more enterprise. That's all the capacity really means. And then they also are able to fit in more customers within a certain venue on the network, so it doesn't slow them down when they're uploading and streaming or going live on a respective social media platform. So again, these were some of the takeaways. I do find it very bad for Verizon that they are not correcting and making a market correction. They desperately need it now. The fact that they announced last night that you need to get into an unlimited premium offering to get C-band, that's going to backfire. I'm telling you right now, today is T-Mobile's analyst day. They're going to let Verizon have it. They're going to have a party at that analyst day. They're giving 5G to everyone, all of their plans, MVNOs included, prepaid. AT&T is doing the same. Look at Cricket, all flavors. If Verizon wants to stick to their guns, that's fine. That is absolutely fine if they want to operate that type of business model, that they are the lucrative carrier. They have the most and best quality network. That's fine with me. But they better get ready to start seeing AT&T and Verizon taking significant share in the switching pool and business. T-Mobile just released a new WFX to compete for bigger Fortune 500 companies. We all know AT&T is heavily involved in business, and they're both attacking Verizon. It's 2 against 1 pretty much. And Verizon is sticking to their strategies. They're looking at the track phone, and they're looking to accelerate the growth. I still think the track phone on the back end is an upsell to potentially their home internet or postpaid. I still think that, but I could be wrong on that. But I truly believe they're looking to upsell some of that base. And of course, it's not approved yet, but that's what I'm leaning towards. So let me know in the comment section down below how you feel about this. I just wanted to make this video asking you guys, is this the right move from Verizon to really go after being a lucrative premium option in this competitive wireless space where it's technically now two against 1 in terms of competition? So let me know in the comment section. If you have been on the channel or you are new to the channel and you have not yet liked, shared, subscribed, make sure you do so. Hit the notification bell so you are notified when I do upload content. Make sure to follow the social media outlets for more updates and interactions. Thanks again for watching. This is Tyrone with Tech Life. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.